Let's talk about, as we've been talking about products migrating to experiences, that we have an experience peddler this morning, and that's Dave & Buster's rising after earnings there beating expectations. The shares are up by 3%. The company here coming in with earnings that beat estimates, comparable sales up 10.9%, and revenue rising 70% year over year. The company's food and beverage revenue rising. I mean, a lot of this because people weren't going to Dave & Buster's last year, and then they were going to Dave & Buster's. So it's a pretty straightforward situation here when you look at what.
Yeah, fascinating just to hear what we have heard from Target, essentially saying their second quarter hasn't started well. And you scroll down to the bottom of the Dave & Buster's earnings release, they said sales have continued to strengthen through the first 5 weeks of the second quarter. Comparable sales up during that period 12.2%. Walk-in same-store sales, or those people just don't have an appointment or booking a party, they just come in and play games, up 17.8%. That is what a difference between, and you are seeing that shift to services. I mean, it's playing out in real time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the experience that people look to get from a Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's is everybody's Vegas, basically. You go in there's no windows. You have no idea what time it is. You just have been sitting there watching games, letting your kids play games as well at the same time, getting a couple food, drinks, whatnot. And I think for Dave & Buster's, the great thing that they did show us was some of these year-over-3 comparisons here compared to 2019, which would have been the last normal period to really look back to. Revenue increasing from that time by about 24%, comparable to the first quarter of 2019, and 10% or 11% total comp sales compared with the same period in 2019. So those particularly one thing that I kind of look at. You're laughing.
You mentioned Uncrustables. I'm staying on the food. I just went to the Dave & Buster's website, and they've been really revamping their food menu. Yeah. These ribs on the homepage look good. Go check it out. Of course, don't sign up out of YahooFinance.com. Check out these ribs on the homepage. I mean, they look awesome. I got to try them.
There's no sugar in the rib barbecue sauce either.
No sugar.
I mean, there's something called food photography where they make things look really good in marketing. Doesn't necessarily mean you might.
You know, it looks good. The new Wendy's Frosty. I know you're excited about that.
A Frosty's good, of course. I mean, that's a known commodity.
You gotta have one of those. Yeah.
That is definitely a known commodity. I mean, you know, as we talk about all of these adjustment periods, by the way, guys, and we talk about the migration to services from products, we have to remember that that's not normal either, right? That we're still in an unusual period where we're talking about all this pent-up demand. People are going to Dave & Buster's. They're buying flights. They're traveling. They're going out and doing things. But that's going to normalize also, of course. Right. The question is when and to what level? Like, what is normal anymore? What is the normal level of growth in all of these items? What is the natural demand for these things in the real economy? And it feels like we're not going to know that at least until 2023, if not beyond that.
We can get a taste. I suspect after the summer season ends, and you're not out there taking vacations. You know, where else are you back to saving money?
No, people are still going to be. I think people are still booking out into the fall and beyond. That it's happening. I don't know. Maybe not to the same level.
On what headcount for all of those operations across services?
All right, we're out of time.